Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks and another episode of Building Jabba'S Palace. So last week we concentrated on getting all of the support structure all ready around the back here, got the mechanism in for the throne, and we were hoping that by now those archers would arrive for down on that section so we get all that sorted out. As of today, they still haven't arrived, so hopefully they will arrive before this video is finished. Anyway, we're going to concentrate on getting this section done along the front here, as much of it as we can. We're going to at least start on the bottom and work our way up. So what I need to do is work out what I'm going to be doing for the door on the hangar. Once done the door, we can then sort of like work out where the turret goes. I believe there's a turret on the bottom here. Then work out an outline for the rockwork all along here, and then we can sort of like start building up a little bit more and then putting all that in. So we're going to hopefully, by the end of this update, have made this section here look more like Tatooine rather than the multicolours there. So we'll start on that, and once we've done a little bit of progress, we'll check back in and show you what it looks like. And this is all we have got left of filler brick, and I don't think that's going to be anywhere near enough to get the remainder of that done over there as well as along here. So what we're going to do, we're going to be concentrating, as I said, on this area here first of all. If we need to get some more, then we shall do so. Now, the one thing I'm just looking at here, I think I need to slightly amend this, because obviously when I built this here, it was before I decided on this arch for the roof here, and I think the wall's too thick this side and too narrow that side. I wasn't worried about the fact the arch didn't sort of like go from there to there, and that even if it's sort of like the wall's more one side than the other, because there's going to be a secondary arch on for the door frame. What my concern is I thought, when I saw from memory, I thought that there was a tower on this side. However, it turns out it's actually that side. So I need to move the wall that's sort of like that thick right over to that side, or at least a lot more of it there. Now, if I zoom in here, you can see that this brick here is underneath that plate there, which is under all that. So I'm going to have to be very careful when peeling bricks out and then feeding new bricks in and pushing it all down so I don't disrupt too much above there. On this one here, it's not so bad because I can just add bricks to it and then just connect them all at the top. And there'll be a tower in front of it and a little bit of rock work as well anyway. So I've now got to do this very carefully, just dismantle a little bit of that and then put it over that side, and then we can sort of like build the archway in, put the turret in, and then we can start our rock work around here. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We'll build up a little bit more of the rock work, do a little bit more of the mills plate along here once we get to it. But yeah, there's nowhere. I mean, I'm going to have to mills plate this entire section here, and there's nowhere near enough of the 2x2 bricks, but hey ho, we'll sort it out one way or another. Anyway, let's get to dismantling that wall, and we'll check back in once we've made a little bit of. And we managed to shave 2 or 3 studs off of that wall there, so that's all good. A lot smaller now, so we can now concentrate on making that one wider so we can get the tower. Obviously, we still need to make sure that the slave one can get out. Somebody did last week ask about putting the UCS slave one in there, but it is way too big, and although it's sort of like in the Book of Boba Fett, it does scrape through. If you look at other material, you can see actually like a sail barge in here as well, and the sail barge is considerably bigger, my understanding is, than the slave one, so this is nowhere near to scale on there. What I might do, I might use the 20th anniversary slave one if it'll fit in there, but the one thing is, obviously I've got the hangar door to come over, which is going to be there. But to give you an idea of the size, I will get the UCS slave one, just put it there just so you can see the size comparison. And as you can see, the UCS slave one is never fitting in this mock in a million years. It is just, yeah, way too wide, way too tall. The slave one size that we've been basing this on so far, this one here, and that we're going to build for the mock, it's nowhere near the sort of size that you would have a slave one. It will be considerably bigger. Obviously, it would be this size. So we need to find a nicer compromise with there. But yeah, I'll just show you how big the UCS slave one is compared with the mock. And we just quickly pop back to this side of the mock, and reason being, I found some more of these 1x2 inverted slopes. So I'm just putting them up here, and then we'll build a straight line across. So you won't be able to see the curve from here, for example. You obviously when you look into the mock, and I'm just going to build all of this section up. Whilst doing it, there were a couple of plates that were sticking over, which I knocked, and then a little bit of it collapsed in there. So we just had a little bit of a rebuild, and hence there's a section missing here. It takes a couple of moments just to get it all fixed. But yeah, we'll just block all that off, see what it looks like, and we'll check back in once we've done so. And there it is, we've managed to build up that entire section. So just by finding those few slopes, we changed what we were doing yet again, and we built all of that around there. So we're now all ready to plate that top section off. But now we've done that, what we're going to do, we're going to come back around the front here, sort out what we're going to do with the curve, build that section up, and then we can plate off that entire area at the top. And here we are at the hangar door, and we're going to be doing it in a dark blue grey to start with. There are going to be snot bricks which have got the studs on both sides, and that way we can then sort of like put plates over both sides of it and put the finer details on, the same as what we're doing with the rank or pit door. And we can also decide what colour we want to make it at a later stage. I want to get the rockwork built up so then I can get a better idea of what colour is going to match best to it. The Rockwork's obviously going to be tan and dark tan and with all the sand, etc. And in the Book of Boba Fett, the colour of it's like a rusty colour. It's not sort of like the reddish brown. It's like a little bit duller. So again, I just need to work out what colour is going to be best to have that on there. Obviously, with it being a large area, I like a nougat colour might have been the way forward, but I think that might just look a little bit too bright. So the dark bluish grey may be the dull colour that I'm looking for on here. Again, it might not be screen accurate, but as long as it looks good, that's what matters. So anyway, let's get building that up. We'll check back in once we make some progress. And here we have the start of the arches going over the hangar door. We've used the 2x1 modified plates and standard 2x1 plates in orange and the dark nougat, I think it is, or medium nougat maybe. But the problem we've got here is it's half a plate out from being flush with these snot bricks down here. And it would be nice if I could have got it so it was all continuous. The one thing that I could possibly do, not sure if it'll work, is get one of the brackets that come out like so. So I might have a little play with that, experiment with it and see what it looks like. If not, we'll just carry on as we are. If I do use those brackets, it might, as I said, it will probably work out just about right. But we'll have to have a look. It might be that this side is one plate higher at the back because they obviously need to sit on top of each other in order to fit in that small gap. Then what we'll do on the brick wall here, we will have a snot brick at the top, which will clip into the arch, and then that way it'll keep it consistent and it won't be moving whilst it's in place. But anyway, let's get back to experimenting and we'll check back in once we've made some progress. Originally we were going to be putting the hangar door as a one deep brick with snot bricks on either side and then plate either side of it to bring it out. However, we've decided it's going to be easier to do a 3 deep brick door. We put snot bricks on the middle row there, and there'll be snot bricks either side, or studs either side, and then we can tile, and then we'll have a slight indentation on those 4 sections just there. We have decided that dark blue grey is going to be the best colour to go for. We've also put snot bricks up the edge here, and we put another one here, and then the arch will be attached to those, and then that way it will all be flush up against the wall and there'll be no gaps there. So hopefully that's all going to work out right. So let's carry on building that up and we'll check back in once we've done so. And there we have the part of the door, and we just made this snot section here which will now just slide into the gap between the two, and that will go in there, should go in there nice and flush. So push that all the way down. So now we've pushed that all the way down, we can plate off across here, and then we'll be able to tile. So put a tile on the bottom of each of those, and then we can put a 3x plate in there, and that will all fit in there flushly. So yeah, that'll be all detailed on there. So we'll get that all sorted out once we've carried on building above it. There's the hangar door all on. All we need to do is put the plates and tiles inside there, plate up again and tile all the way around the door frame there, and then that will be all done. And we'll be putting 2x2 square tiles on each of these 2x1 plates, and that will cover up these little grey bits that you can see there. And then on the reverse of the 2x2 plates, we'll be putting some more plates, and then that will be filling in the gaps. It'll be all seamless along there. Anyway, next thing we need to do is build up the rockwork on here. So we've got a load of the big ugly rock pieces, or burps as they're known as. I'm not a fan of these for anything other than using them to bulk the back out. So I'll put this on there, then put small bricks all the way around it. It's just a good way of filling up a big gap for support for doing rock faces, but it won't be showing any of the angles on there. So we're just going to put some of those around this section here, and then I want to make a start on doing the rock parts over this section here. There is a turret, I believe, that goes here and here, just smaller ones. I thought they were larger than what they actually are, so I'm going to be having to change how I make those look. But yeah, looking forward to doing some rock work. We haven't done that for such a long time. And hopefully by the time at the end of this episode we'll have a good start on the rock work there, but I also want to get that all plated off there so I can't see any of that multicoloured at least above the hangar. But anyway, let's get building. And here we have the start of the mountain. So we put a load of the pieces in there. They're stacked so that they go back quite a bit. And what we're going to do now, we're going to sort of plate off this entire area doing the mill star. So put the 2x2 bricks down, place it all off, and then we'll start doing the rock face on top of that going up. And we're going to start by using the tan colour slopes at the very bottom just to represent sand that's brushed up against the rock face. Then after that we'll go over to the dark tan and probably put a couple of sprinkles of other colours in there just to break it up. And we're going to try and use a couple of different techniques with doing the rock effect, so it looks quite good. But anyway, let's get to it. And just so I'd check in one more time and just show you the progress on the rock work. So as you can see, we're using 3 different colours there, tan, dark tan and one of the nougats. And really pleased how it's coming on nice and smoothly. So we're using a lot of these pieces here to give us a nice sort of like gentle sort of like start to the rock face on there. But we've also put a few on the side as well, just to give it a little bit of variety. I think the 3 colours do work really well there. Might put a couple of other browns in there as well, just sprinkled about as well. But yeah, happy with how that's coming on. One last thing that we want to do on this update is get this part all plated off on the top here. So we're just going to get that all done now. And we'll just check in once we've done that final part for this week. So let's get to it. And we're just checking in one final time for this update. And as you can see, it's coming on quite nicely. We've got all of the top all plated off now. The side there has been all bricked off, as around the other side, which I'll show you in just a moment. But I'm really pleased how this rock work effect is coming on. I'm going to start putting a little bit more of the nougat colour in there. Obviously, we've got to get the door frame all put around there and continue to build the rock work all around that section. But yeah, really pleased with the amount of progress that's coming on. So still a long way to go. Obviously, just getting this part here done is going to be one thing. And then we've got all of those big buildings to make to go along the top there. And haven't even started to think about how we're going to be designing those and going about building them. So all good fun. And then obviously we've still got all of this here as well. All this terrain is going to need to be sort of like something done with it, and Easter eggs put in and little scenes and all the details. So again, that's another part which I'm really looking forward to. But yeah, anyway, hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please remember to hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell so you can be kept up to date with any future content on the channel. And please share it with your family and friends. Anyway, thanks for walking on by. See you next time. Bye for now.